I'm Katie. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today what I wanted to talk about is some Amazon cruise travel essentials. I think they're all under $40, so I hope you'll find this information helpful as you're planning for your next cruise. So the first item I wanted to talk about today that I think is a cruise essential is a great carry-on bag. This is the type of bag that will fit under the seat in front of you on an airplane. And I have to admit that I was influenced to buy this bag by Alana at Lifewell Cruise. She has absolutely no idea who we are, but I want to thank her for the recommendation because this is a really great bag. So it's kind of a heavy kind of canvas material, and it zips closure, and it opens quite wide. It's a pretty good size bag. You can fit quite a lot in here. There's a large zipper pocket on one side and then two open pockets on the other side. And when I packed this for our recent cruise, I packed the outfit I was going to wear the next day, cosmetics, that type of thing. I think I even had a couple of spare outfits in here as well. And one of the great things about this bag is that it has the trolley sleeve here on the side, so it fits right over your suitcase. This is also a large kind of zipper compartment here on the back for your cell phone, glasses, things like that. But kind of the secrets to this bag is that it unzips here at the bottom to reveal another compartment. And so what I did was I was able to pack 3 pairs of shoes in this compartment. Now, if you are a man or have larger shoes, you might only be able to fit a couple of pair, but I was able to fit 3 pair in here, which was great so that they didn't take up necessary space in my suitcase. So this is just a great bag, and because it's Amazon, it comes in lots of different colors and patterns. I have a black and white striped bag, but it's held up really great, and I will definitely continue to use it. So next, let's talk about packing cubes. I know you've all heard about packing cubes, and there's the debate. There's people that are pro packing cubes and people that are anti packing cubes. I'm definitely in the pro packing cubes camp for cruises. I don't use them every time I travel, but every time we go on a cruise, we do use them and find them really helpful. There's so many different sets of packing cubes on Amazon, and so this isn't the only one, but this is one of the sets that we bought for our last cruise, and we certainly would recommend it. So it comes with different sizes, size like this, which is perfect for like socks and underwear, and then there's a step up that's great for t-shirts, and then larger ones, which is great for dresses or pants, things like that. The reason why I like packing cubes for cruises is it helps keep me organized in my packing, and so I kind of know where everything is when I get there. And sometimes even with like the smaller ones like socks and underwear, I'll just take the whole packing cube and put it in one of the dresser drawers. And so I really enjoy them. I do think it maybe helps us save a little bit of space. You can actually buy compression packing cubes that will help you save even more space. These are not compression, but they do keep us organized, and we do recommend them. All right, our next cruise essential is this little guy. You might be thinking, what in the world is that? Well, this is a foldable hanger, and they come in a set of 24 on Amazon, and we brought 10 of these on our cruise. They pack very flat, don't take up much space, and my husband and I are not exactly light packers, so we find we do need a lot of hangers. Now, the cruise cabins generally do have a fairly good amount of hangers. I want to say our closet probably had 15 to 20 hangers, but we did find that we needed more than that, and we used all 10 that we brought. Now, you can always ask your cabin steward for more hangers if you need them, but we're very well aware of how busy stewards are, especially on embarkation day, and since these really didn't take up much space in our suitcase, we did decide to bring them ourselves. And I think we got good use out of them, so we will always pack these on future cruises. So the next cruise essential is really a cruise essential for me, not so much my husband, and that is motion sickness patches. When I took my first cruise, gosh, probably 20 years ago, there was a couple of nights where we had really rough seas, and I had no problem. Lots of people on the ship were unfortunately sick, but I had no issues. But then all of a sudden in 2019, when my husband and I took a cruise, I really did get some seasickness, not to the point of being physically sick, but I definitely felt nauseous, was dizzy, just didn't feel that well. And so I had brought some, I don't know if they were the same ones, but I had brought some seasickness patches with me, and they did help tremendously. The trick that I did this time is I put these on the night before our cruise. So I already had some of the kind of medication in my system. And we did have a little bit of rough seas that very first night, and I actually did fine and was fine the rest of the cruise. These come in a set of, I think, 20, and you just put one behind each ear. I think you could also put one on your navel if you need to. I didn't do that. And you can wear them for a couple of days, and then you just replace them. And so these really have worked wonders for me, and I will not cruise without them. All right, so the next item is just an ingenious little kind of packing item, whether you're going on a cruise or any type of travel or vacation. And that is a double glasses case. So on the one side, it opens, and I actually have my reading glasses on that side. You flip it over, you can open it on the other side where you can store a second pair of glasses. In this case, I have my sunglasses. So this was great on our last cruise. It helped me take both glasses. They were protected, but packed in a small, relatively small space, certainly smaller than what 2 glasses cases would take up. So I think it's just an ingenious little packing device. One kind of quick word of caution though is if you have exceptionally large glasses, I'm not sure they'll fit in here. My sunglasses aren't real small or real big, and they kind of just fit in here. So if you do wear very oversized glasses, I'm not sure they'll fit, but for kind of standard size glasses, this is really a perfect little case. All right, our next cruise essential is these Clorox germicidal wipes. Now, these wipes are different than kind of the standard Clorox wipes that you can buy at your grocery store. These are supposed to kill norovirus. And so this is a must for us for any cruise. We don't take this whole big package of them. I just kind of popped out 5 or 6 of the wipes, put them in a little baggie, a little Ziploc baggie, and brought those with us. And then when we got to the cabin, I took one and I wiped down all the surfaces. So doorknobs, the bathroom sink and the faucets, the TV remote, the phone, any surface that we might touch, I wiped that down, and then I did that a couple more times throughout the week. And so to me, it's just an easy little precaution, doesn't take up any space to just pack a handful of them in your suitcase. I do recommend though, these smell very strongly of bleach. And if you do not wear gloves, your hands will smell very strongly of bleach for quite some time. So I did just pack like 3 pairs of just disposable kind of latex gloves. And so, yes, we will always do this. It's just a quick, easy thing, takes up no space, and hopefully helps protect us from norovirus. All right, so next, let's talk about some toiletry cases. I'm going to start with this. This is a great bag for your TSA liquids, the liquids that you're going to bring with you in your carry-on bag. Now, in the past, I've always just used a quart-size Ziploc baggie. But the problem with that is that you can't fit a lot in there, and they can tend to rip if you do try to put too much in. These are great. We bought these for our last cruise, and they zip not just across the top, but actually kind of down the sides a little bit. And so what that does is kind of creates a gusset, and this opens, quite wide, and you can fit a lot more in here than a Ziploc baggie, but you're still compliant with TSA regulations. So highly recommend these, very affordable, and we'll continue to use them. All right, the next cruise essential is a good toiletry bag, and I'm going to talk about 2 of them. The first one is this guy, and you've probably seen bags similar to this all over Amazon. These are the bags that kind of zip diagonally across the bag. And what that does is it allows the bag to open completely flat. and which is really nice. You can see where everything is. There's some pockets and a zipper compartment in here. But really, it's quite a large space for you to fit everything into. I fit all my makeup, plus prescriptions. I even had a little kind of pillowcase with some jewelry that I was able to fit in here. So it really, you can fit a lot in here, and it served the purpose very well. It is a little bit of a larger footprint in your suitcase, so that's something to consider. You may not need something quite this large. But I have mine packed relatively full. What I like about this one versus some of the other ones that you can find on Amazon is this one's made out of fabric, and so it's very soft and squishable. So if you don't have yours filled to the brim, you can kind of press it down and make it a little bit smaller in your suitcase. I've seen some ones that are made of like a thicker kind of faux leather that really are a little bit stiffer, and you can't really squish them down as much. So I do recommend the fabric one. And this one has held up well, and we'll certainly continue to use it. If you don't need a toiletry bag that's quite as large as that last one, this is another good alternative. Now this one just sits down the center, but it still opens quite wide and nearly flat. It doesn't hold quite as much as that last bag I showed, but this one has been perfect for me for kind of everyday travel, work travel, shorter trips. It still holds quite a lot in it, but just doesn't take up quite as much room in the suitcase. It's also very kind of soft and squishable, and I've used this one probably 8 or 9 times now for work trips and personal trips, and it's been great. Holds a lot, and we'll continue to use this as well. For cruises, I'll use the other one that I showed that's a little bit larger, but this is great for everyday travel. All right, the next cruise essential, at least for me, is a travel hair dryer. Now, in the cruise cabins, they do provide you with a hair dryer, but in my experience, they're not very powerful, and they kind of tend to cut out, at least on me from time to time. I have a lot of hair, and so I need a pretty strong dryer. So this one I actually purchased for our cruise that we took in 2019. It's just a Conair, but it's 1,875 watts, so it's pretty powerful, but while also being compact. So you can see it does fold, and you just unfold it to use it. And it's worked great. I've used it several times. It's not as powerful as my regular dryer that I use every week, but for travel purposes, this one has held up great and continues to work well and dry my hair relatively quickly. I don't know if this exact one is still available, so if it's not, I will try to link something similar down in the kind of show more box. The last cruise essential I have for you today is a packable rain jacket. Now this is very small, as you can see, it doesn't take up much room. Our last cruise was to the Caribbean, and we were fortunate enough to have sunshine every day. It was a little bit cloudy in Curacao. I thought it might rain there for a bit, but it didn't. The rain did hold off, but this is still just nice little extra insurance. And so I'll always pack this on every cruise. As you can see, it comes in a little kind of packable pouch. I'll take it out here so you can see it. So it has pretty good coverage for a rain jacket. It is waterproof, but still very, very lightweight. And so this is just something I will always bring with me and recommend. We purchased one for my husband as well, and so I'll link both of those below. I'll leave links to all of the products that we talked about today down below in the kind of show more box of YouTube. We thank you so much for joining us and watching. We know you have a choice in what you watch, and so we are so grateful to you for spending time with us. If you have questions, please feel free to put those in the comments. We'll be happy to respond. And until next time, happy cruising. Thanks again for watching. If you found these packing essentials helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel to follow along on our travel adventures and learn more cruise tips and tricks with us.